Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Pep here, and I've got a very special video today, and it's a big privilege for me. As you know, being the fragrance enthusiast that I am, I'm always on the lookout. I'm excited to smell new fragrances from new houses, and particularly when they're based in my home country and my hometown of Melbourne in Australia. I've got Rasei Fort here. Thanks for having me today, mate. Thank you. Rasei is the creator behind the fragrances of Fort and Manle. You released the first fragrances in 2016, is that right?
Yeah.
And you've had one new release this year, which is Harem Rose.
Harem Rose.
Yeah, Harem Rose. So you correct me on pronunciation if I've mispronounced anything. Up until today, I haven't smelled any of these fragrances yet, and Rose has been kind enough to get some samplers out for me to test as we're recording this. These bottles are off to be displayed in a store here in Melbourne, and I guess what I want to ask first off, Rose, is my understanding of what I've read and what you've told me is that you're a self-taught perfumer. How did that all begin?
Basically, about 10 years ago, me and my wife had a trip to Saudi Arabia, and over there I fell in love with the attars.
Okay.
They call them attars, the concentrated oils.
So they're basically, you know, a perfume, but they're in oil concentration.
Yeah,
they're not diluted in any alcohol.
Yeah, they're basically high concentrated fragrance oils.
Yeah.
A lot of them are synthetic, but they smell nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And so basically I bought some when I was up there, and then I was wearing them when I got back here, and then I thought it might be a good opportunity to, you know, import some to Melbourne and try and, you know, distribute or sell some over here. So I did that. I started my own business. I was importing attar oils from a company called Abdul Samad Al Qureshi.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of them. They're pretty big up there.
Yeah.
They have stores around the world. So I imported about close to $10,000 worth of attar. Yeah. And I was just selling them from home.
Yeah.
My company was called Desert Rose.
Okay.
And yeah, it didn't go too well because I don't know, I didn't have a strong, you know, group like we do now with the fragrance community and stuff. At that time I didn't have the social media that we are available to us today.
Well, I mean, the social media is a big factor in me, like, finding out about Fort and Manle. I only recently discovered, I was aware of other perfume houses from Australia, and I know of a couple that are based in Sydney. But when I found out about Fort and Manle, being from Melbourne, that's when I reached out to you and decided I wanted to find out more. Before we get into this, I just want to mention that one of your fragrances back in May was chosen as a finalist for the Art and Olfaction Awards in Berlin.
Yeah.
That was Fatih Sultan Mehmed. Yeah. Can you tell me like a bit about that whole experience? Because you mentioned that wasn't necessarily going to be the one that you submitted for the competition.
No, that's right. Initially we were sending, well, you can only send 3 fragrances to the Art and Olfaction Awards, and we applied for the artisanal category.
Yeah.
So we sent Bojnokopff, well, Mr. Bojnokoff's Purple Hat.
Yeah.
Charlatan.
Yeah.
And Maduro. That was our first 3 fragrances. And then one day my friend Al Manle, which the other half of the business, he basically was wearing Fatih Sultan Mehmed, and I forgot that I even made it.
Yeah.
It was about a few months back.
Was it still like in development, or had you finished it? And
no, I finished it,
Mm.
but at the time when I first made it, I thought, okay, let's give it some time and see what happens. And I did smell it a few weeks after that, and I thought it was good,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was the bee's knees.
Yeah.
But there was one day when I picked up Al, we were driving in my car, and he was wearing it. And he didn't tell me he was wearing it, but I could smell something coming off him. It was really projecting. And I said, I said, are you wearing Fati? And he said, yeah, I am. And I said, we have to send that instead of Maduro.
Yeah.
So then we sent the Fati instead of Maduro, and so that it did well.
And that was obviously a really good experience for you, and all the exposure that came with that as well. So I guess maybe if it's okay with you, we might go through and smell some of these fragrances. Do you want to start with anyone in particular?
What kind of fragrances are you into?
Well, I'll tell you when.
You're gonna smell them all.
Yeah. Well, when I was reading through the note breakdowns of each of the fragrances on your website, and by the way, it's worth looking at the Fort and Manle website, because I've been really enjoying reading the little stories behind each of the fragrances, and it does. It's really good in that it does give you a connection to what inspired the fragrances, and I guess in you creating these, you seem to be inspired by a story or a historical event, and we can talk a bit about that as we do it. But the one that I like the sound of the most is Maduro.
Maduro? Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's because I do like tobacco as a note. Yeah.
Okay, so should I do it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you spray. First time I'm smelling, guys. Oh wow. I'll tell you the first thing that hits me is that there is a little bit of a boozy opening with that. That's really, really nice. This is definitely my style of fragrance, yeah. And can I just ask, each of the bottles same concentration, or are some?
Well, some are probably more, but roughly around the same. Try to keep it the same.
Are they extra?
Some of them are extra, like I believe the Maduro is an extract. Amber absolutely is also.
What I'm getting off the card is definitely very strong.
Yeah, well, we received an email from Fragrantica. They said to us that we sprayed Maduro in the office, and the entire office smells of Maduro for 3 days. She said that's what I call longevity.
I'm not surprised, because this is. I'll tell you what else I'm picking up, and I can't remember what notes are listed, but I'm getting like some kind of like a ripe fruit in here as well.
Yeah, there's the pineapple and the apple.
Okay, and it's blended really nicely.
As well as cocoa and tobacco, vanilla.
See, the tobacco's coming out a bit now. Cocoa and vanilla are probably more background to to what I'm picking up, but that is just gorgeous. I think you can tell by the smile on my face. Yeah, this is definitely up my alley, Maduro. The other one that interests me was Mr. Bojnokoff's purple hat.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly on the website, it's about this was inspired by a story. Was he a magician or?
Oh, yeah, more of a illusionist.
Okay.
Yeah, who used to perform on stage.
Yeah.
And basically, he fills his top hat with ingredients, and then the small explosion, and so that's why there's a little bit of disorientation, and someone mentioned it on Australian Tracy. She mentioned when she said I'm liking the disorientation, that was actually what was intended.
Excellent.
It actually hasn't got like a fragrance structure on the top note. It's almost like all of them hit you at once. Obviously, it does have a dry down, but initially you'll get.
But stuff reveals itself as it develops.
Well, no. Basically, when you spray it, you'll get everything that's in it in one go. That's what I intended with it. and see what you.
All right, excellent. I've never been more excited about smelling of fragrance. So
basically, Ansar oud is this oud in particular is called Aroha Kiaku,
yeah,
and basically he distills them in such a way that he gives a different scent profile with each distillation.
Yeah.
This one smells of burning oud chips, you know,
okay.
the incense of the oud.
Well, I haven't had
Have you smelled
the
that?
opportunity to smell that before, but this definitely this oud smells different to other ouds, and I've probably only ever smelled like synthetically made ouds anyway. But it is really dark and rich and smoky. See, what I'm smelling now is completely different to what I initially smelled as well. It's really lovely. And you know, both of these that I've smelled have I've kind of had the same sort of impact, but they're completely different as well. This is definitely woodier.
That's one thing that I've always tried to do is, have you noticed, I've noticed anyway, that a lot of fragrance houses, if you smell the entire line and you'll say, yep, you can tell it belongs to the same house.
There's like a base.
Base of DNA or some sort of a... I didn't want to have that. Like I wanted to make each fragrance individual, like have its own sort of character without any... Like you shouldn't be able to detect that it's from the same family.
Yeah.
So that's why the labels as well are quite different from each other.
Yeah, and I'll include close-up footage of the bottles here, but these, as I was saying to Raz earlier, these are probably some of the most beautiful bottles I've seen, and these metal plaques on the front are embossed or debossed on some of them, but they're all handmade designs.
They're all drawn by Al Manle.
Yeah.
And then embossed on metal.
They're just gorgeous. How about Charlatan?
Charlatan?
Yeah.
Did you like the notes?
Well, to be honest with you, I like the notes on all of them. Some I'm not naturally attracted to, you know, stuff that's too floral, but I still like the descriptions that I read on the website. You know, I've been getting into rose as a note more and more lately, but I haven't really explored that enough.
I don't think it has a gender. Sort of like a man could wear it and really pull it off, and I think it's a nice smell. Initially, you might think, that's too feminine for me, but if you're confident wearing it, I don't see the problem.
Well, it's floral, but like you said, it's definitely not. It's definitely not feminine.
Yeah.
And I certainly would wear it. It's just really beautiful, delicate to me. It's not overpowering. It's not a delicate. It's not an overpowering rose. There's nice like woodiness in the background. Even this, is there any elements in here that are fruity or?
Yeah, there's pear.
There is pear, yeah. Okay.
There's pear. That's the only fruits.
But it seems like not not in a negative way, but it seems like a very simple composition. This one. It's gorgeous. I'd like to smell this on women as well, obviously. Yeah. It's nice. It's really nice. So that one was Charlatan. So just while we're talking about ingredients, I know your philosophy is to basically try and use the best ingredients you can get. Has that sort of been hard for you, I guess, in being in Australia? Is it a lot harder for you to source ingredients like that, or more expensive?
It's just, it's more expensive. Usually a lot of the good sort of websites where you can buy oils for me anyway.
Yeah.
It's been from the US.
Yeah.
And those sort of the postage costs, and when you convert the US dollar into Australian, sort of makes it a little bit more expensive. But that being said, I still don't. You know, I've looked for alternatives here in Australia, and there's a good company called Hermitage
Okay.
Oils, which I do use as well
Yeah.
in some of the fragrances. But yeah, mainly from the US. It's been.
So are there like cheaper aroma chemicals that a lot of
Yeah,
big houses would substitute instead of using oils like that?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And I, you know, not being classically trained,
Yeah.
a lot of the you know, aldehydes, aroma chemicals and stuff, I'm not too familiar
Yeah.
with using, so I tend to use naturals.
So in a way, the fact that you are self-taught has basically kind of guided you towards using better quality
Yeah, well, exactly.
ingredients. Not to mention, I mean, it's a lot of out-of-pocket costs for you. In
It is
doing
when you're making fragrances or dabbling with naturals, you're not always going to get it right.
Yeah.
And you know, it is a sort of learning curve as
Yeah.
well. You know, but that leads to perfecting a scent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is an expensive hobby.
Yeah,
I'd say.
yeah, and also it would lead to a unique way of working and coming up with formulas that are difficult to copy.
Yeah,
as well.
That's right.
Yeah, and Confessions of a Garden Gnome.
Yeah.
It's my favourite named perfume. Oh, you know, Mr. Bojnokoff's Purple Hat is pretty good too. So. See, before I'm smelling this, I'm expecting green.
Oh, that's a garden.
Oh wow, I'm getting that from here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh wow. So green floral.
So basically, a
mossiness as well.
a garden gnome
Yeah.
sits in a garden
Yeah,
and doesn't move.
yeah,
And things happen in the garden that, you know, that was the idea behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like the weather changes and the whole time the garden gnome is there. So it's sort of experiencing the whole garden environment. And so the idea and the concept behind the garden gnome is basically try to make the fragrance in a way where you get all the 4 seasons of a garden in the one fragrance.
As you're describing that, I'm not kidding, and I'm smelling this as well. I'm getting all. I even got chills up my spine as you were describing that. I've got to tell you, so far what I've smelled, this has blown me away the most.
Wow.
Because as Raz was describing the garden gnome sitting in the garden, might be raining, might be warm, might be cold, but also the moss and lichen that might be growing on it, and you can actually smell that, and you can even, and I know it might be psychological, but I'm even getting like the porcelain that the garden gnome's made out of as well. This is beautiful. Like, you know, in terms of green fragrances, like everyone talks about green Irish tweed, and I've got that as well. It's one of my favourites, one of everybody's favourites. But like this is different, completely different. But it's really right up there for me. Like,
I'm glad to hear that.
Man, I would like wear this all spring. Seriously. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's my favourite so far.
Oh wow.
What have we got left? Harum Rose.
So Harum Rose and Fatih Sultan Mehmet, they're from Sultana series, which will bring out fragrances in that series.
So you've got more to come.
Yeah, there's one coming called Suleiman Le Magnifique.
Okay.
So Suleiman the Magnificent.
Yeah.
So just sultans of the past.
Yeah.
If you want to try one of those, or amber, absolutely.
Yeah, let's go amber, absolutely, because I'm a fan of amber accords.
So basically, the idea behind amber, absolutely, or the name anyway, is I don't know if Tom Ford brought out amber absolute, and he discontinued it, and I saw that a lot of people loved it, and you love it too. Yeah. I smelt it. I loved it as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't smell like that in a sense. Like, it wasn't trying to copy that.
Yeah. Well, so straight off the bat, this, you know, I don't immediately go, oh, it's like Amber Absolute to me.
Yeah.
This is a lot, for me, this is a lot smoother, less smoky than Amber Absolute to me. There's also something sweet in the background as well. It's almost like right on the tip of my tongue. There's almost something gourmandish in the background here, like something cooking, something sweet cooking in the background.
Like almost like a vanilla.
Yeah, probably like a burnt vanilla almost. Yeah. That's really nice. It's actually not what I was expecting to smell for some reason.
Yeah.
It's definitely very unisex, this one as well. Like,
yeah, it's been like that. It's been popular with men and
women. Yeah.
I'd say more women.
Yeah. Well, see,
more women have been.
When I smell this, I'm imagining smelling it on a woman as well. I mean, it's beautiful. Okay, Amber, absolutely. Oh, that's.
Give it a minute. It changes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And initially, it starts a little bit green.
Yeah. I was going to say that's almost like the stem of the rose.
Yeah. It smells almost like a rose that hasn't opened or bloomed.
Yeah.
And then you smell it again, and it almost starts to bloom.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but I get a pink rose for some reason.
Yeah. So do I.
Yeah.
So do I.
I can't tell you, like, I've gone to smell pink roses or red roses and know the difference, but the first thing that pops in my head is a pink rose.
Yeah, for me as well, it's a pinkish rose.
I love the way it's mixed with the greenness as well, because this is not what I was expecting. It's like very different to the rose in Charlatan.
Yeah. Well, the Charlatan has other florals like jasmine, osmanthus.
Yeah, which give it a bit of weight.
Yeah, as you know, osmanthus is like, it has different almost notes that come through, like leathery, some say apricot, so it really makes a chameleon. Whereas this is the only floral in this is rose, but it does also have a touch of tuberose. Yeah,
but it's almost this almost leans more green than floral or to me. But that's like, I think it's actually a good thing. And I would definitely wear this. Yeah.
You'd rock it.
I would rock it. I'd rock it. Rock Aram Rose. Oh man, I've been very impressed so far. This is fantastic. So while I'm saying that, most of my subscribers on YouTube are based overseas. If they go on the website, do you ship overseas?
We ship overseas.
Well, hopefully that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So I will be putting all of the website details in the description below, anything else that we've spoken about in this video. So how about we try Fort and Manle as the last fragrance, and this is the one that was chosen as the finalist for Art and Olfaction.
Yeah. Okay. That being said as well, just recently we received the results of all of the three fragrances.
Yeah.
So basically Charlatan came because there was about 200 entries from 34 different countries. Charlatan was 31st.
Okay.
And Bojnokopff was 15th.
Wow.
So Bojnokopff just missed out on being a finalist as well.
Yeah,
there was 11 finalists.
Yeah.
So it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's fantastic. So before I smell this, how would you describe this fragrance?
I basically used.
Well, I'm getting that from here.
The notes that are from basically Turkey. So tulips, rose.
You don't see tulip used much in perfumery, do you?
Well, it's an accord. It's not.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
Well, I've only recently learned that the Daphne flowers, like, you can't really. There's no Daphne oil that you can use. Yeah. So there are obviously some plants and flowers that you need to create accords for to simulate it. Yeah. This is very without being able to pick individual things out here, because I you know, I couldn't tell you that this smells like tulip because I'm not familiar with the tulip smell, but what I get from this is very opulent kind of smell, really rich, but not overpowering, not cloying off this strip. And is there an amber accord in here as well? Yeah, that's coming through nice. But this is a really nice woody amber. I'm sorry if I'm not describing
no,
it
there's
properly.
cedar wood and patchouli as well.
Oh yeah, I'm getting the patchouli.
Yeah, and amber in the base.
No, it's really nice. I can see why.
But what makes it green, I find, is the petitgrain, as well as the bergamot.
It's giving it a bit of freshness. Yeah.
It stays fresh.
And did you find, does it tend to stay fresh? And
it does.
Yeah.
It stays fresh throughout the wearing. The dry down is not as fresh.
I imagine that this would be amazing on skin though,
Yeah.
like as you said, when you smell it on the owl. That's beautiful as well. Oh, I'm blown away, mate. I'm blown away. With all sincerity, like I'm not that I'm surprised that they all smell great, but like I was expecting to smell a couple that, you know, didn't do it for me, but they're all I think pretty amazing fragrances. So just the last thing I wanted to mention before we end this, you're off to Italy in a few weeks to exhibit
in September.
In September at Fragranza, the expo. So it's a fragrance expo. What city is it going to be in?
It's in Florence.
Okay, so guys, if you're in Europe and you know it's easy enough to get to Florence, go to Fragranza and check out Rase's amazing fragrances. This video has been about Rase and creating the Fort and Manle fragrances. I'm blown away, and I hope that you can take the time to get on the website, order a sample. Discovery said they're available, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because it's almost worth getting all of them, and then, you know, if you find the favorite one, get yourself a bottle. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. Check out Fort and Manle's website, and I hope you get a chance to try them. See you later.